Good morning, folks, and welcome to another East Coast adventure here on the northern tip of Newfoundland. We've spent the last 3 weeks or so exploring the Trans-Labrador Highway all the way through Quebec, from Labrador City to the coast, and now here we are on the rock, the island of Newfoundland. If you've been watching for a while, you know I'm a bit of a history guy, so knowing that the Viking settlements that were once here over 1,000 years ago is right around the corner, you know I'm pretty excited for that. So we're gonna pour some coffees, we're gonna get on the road, and we're gonna go play tourist for the day. Pothole. Well before Newfoundland became a part of Canada, and nearly 500 years before Christopher Columbus crossed the Atlantic, a group of Norse explorers sailed west into waters no European had yet documented. Their journey would bring them to the northern tip of Newfoundland, where they established what is now considered the first known European settlement in North America. These expert sailors from Greenland, led by notable characters such as Leif Erikson, crossed the stormy North Atlantic from Greenland in their open wooden ships. To people living in Greenland with few trees and extremely harsh conditions, to reach a coastline rich with forests, fresh water, and food, the new land must have felt like a paradise. And what is now known as L'anse Aux Meadows, the Vikings built a small settlement of turf-roof buildings.
Yeah, you're excited too, aren't you? Explore the Viking house.
Archaeological evidence suggests the site was used as a base camp, where crews would repair their ships, take advantage of the rivers rich with salmon, and prepare for journeys further south into what the Norse called Vinland. However, life on the edge of the known world was not easy. Encounters with the indigenous tribes already living in these lands may have created tensions between the two groups. And after only a short period, perhaps a decade or less, the Vikings abandoned the site permanently and returned east across the Atlantic.
You cozy there, buddy?
Home sweet home.
For centuries, the story of these voyages survived only in Norse sagas, passed down through generations and often dismissed as legend. But in the 60s, archaeologists uncovered the remains of the settlement here at L'anse Aux Meadows, which were little more than large depressions in the ground, confirming that the Vikings had indeed reached North America nearly 1,000 years ago.
Diesel's just chomping down on tons of crabs here on the beach. He's crab combing, if you will.
What a savage.
Nope, nothing in that one.
Well, I know we're seeing it on a pretty ideal day, but I can see why they chose this spot to set up shop. Pretty darn nice.
Yes.
I'd say, you know what, I'd definitely live here. What do you think? Would you live here?
Yeah, I'd live here for a season or something.
Yeah. I'll build you a longhouse one of these days.
Can't wait.
Well, you know we can't pass up the opportunity to come to the end of the road, but here we are at the northeasternmost tip, we think, in Newfoundland. We're pretty sure. Looking at the map, it's pretty close between where we are now and where we camped last night, but...
And who cares? It's the end of the road.
And it's the end of the road. It says the end of the road on Google Maps, so we're going to go with that.
Tonight we're gonna make moose chili. We've been gifted quite a bit of meat, and this is all moose from our friends in Blanc-Sablon. Thank you if you're watching this. And yeah, we're gonna make some chili tonight, and we're really excited because we haven't had chili in a while, and yeah, we're gonna whip it up.
Cheers. Cheers, bye.
Cheers.
To Newfoundland. And surprise, surprise, it is still cold outside, so chili is going to be just the perfect warming meal in the van while we hunker down, because the sun is out, but don't be fooled. It is still crisp, and
Yeah.
the wind has picked up. It was almost too good to be true, because it was so calm all day when we were checking out L'anse Aux Meadows and driving around. But for the rest of the week, it's supposed to be kind of gloomy. But that's just that coastal weather. And fun fact, St. Anthony's is the moose capital, not just of Eastern Canada or Canada as a whole, but of the world. So we have a good chance of seeing moose, but also from what we're cooking up tonight, they may stay away from our camp.
Let's hope not.
But we'll see. Moose meat's being kind of rude right now.
Extra farty tonight. Is it manifesting what's going to happen in the sleeping bags later? I don't know.
Foreshadowing. That's the stuff right there.
Good?
So good.
Starbucks gift card. Surprise! It's for everybody. $15 value. Damn it! I am no closer to taking Jim down.
Oh, look at that. It's windy again. Heck of a spot though. But we're not doing ourselves any good by being up here in this sort of windstorm. So we're gonna head back down the hill into the little town of St. Anthony's, do a little stock up. And I think we're gonna hit the road. We're gonna take the western shore along this northern tip here in Newfoundland and see what we can get up to today. Woo! You can see how tightly packed all of these trees are. And I tried walking through them a little bit last night, and there's really no chance you won't make it very far. But they're just so compact and so tight knit because this wind would just blow them over if they had space to move around. So it's kind of cool. The trees got each other's back in a harsh environment like this.
Hear the commotion. That's okay.
Keep your eyes peeled for moose, okay?
We're in motion. I can feel the sway. There's nothing to fear, my friend. Oh no. It's the natural Colorado.
Coffee?
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 Hello. Hello. What a surprise.
Welcome to the dark tickle. No, it's not what you're thinking. It's actually a narrow passage between the mainland and an island. Because when I first looked at the map of the East Coast, I noticed there was a whole lot of tickling going on out here. Various places named a certain name and then tickle right after, and I had to know what that was all about. Yes, bye. Dark tickle taste test is a success.
Vibrating us all. Hear the rocket all day and night. The world is noisy. That's alright.
Oh, look at that, still windy. Pretty uneventful drive today. We only put in a few hours, and we found the one spot nearby on iOverlander that said it was tucked in the trees. It's a little out of the wind, because anything by the coast would have been just miserable and would have kept us up at night. So we're tucked back here. We're only right on the side of the road, but I have a good feeling this is a pretty quiet road at night. So we're gonna hang out here and hunker down and save the coastal drive for a nicer day, I think, because I don't really want to miss anything. And you know, between gale force winds and keeping the wheel on a 45-degree angle, I was looking at the water, and for a local, this might just be another day, but for visitors like us, it looks like the ocean was pretty angry. But I just envision what it must have been like for the Vikings way back in the day, coming across the ocean, the open ocean, in their open boats. Even though today was pretty uneventful for the drive and for camp tonight, I'll tell you one thing that's not uneventful, and that is our dinner for this evening. If you remember from last week, I told you guys we have some porcupine in our fridge that needs to get cooked. So we're going to dabble with that and see what we can whip up.
I just finished prepping everything for this. We're gonna make like a porcupine stew. So I have some onion and garlic in this bowl. I have some celery and carrots chopped up in this bowl. We have some potatoes cut up. And then we're gonna just put the porcupine and bone broth and all the vegetables in a pot and make a stew. So the porcupine is on the floor right now in a bag because it's very bloody. And I kind of was going to set it up here on the counter, but I think I'm just gonna cut the meat off on the floor in the bag just to omit any extra mess if possible. And then we're gonna toss it in the pot and see what happens.
I'm also honestly just kind of ready for this to be out of our fridge, because every time I open the fridge, it's just staring me in the face, and it kind of scares me a little bit. And yeah, it just looks a little different. So we're gonna save you the viewing pleasure of watching us put this together, and we'll show you.
Take it apart. We're not putting anything together, let's be real.
Yeah, we'll show you the nice, delicious stew that we come up with in a little bit. Now, ideally, if we had a bigger pot, we could just put everything in together and let it simmer for the 2 to 3 hours that it recommends. But this is VanLife porcupine stew. We've only got this little pot right here. And you know what? So far, it's looking good. Carrots, celery, whole lot of garlic and onions and seasonings, and meat that looks like steak. It's red meat, so how different can it be? All right. Oh, it looks really good.
I made it.
It's true, you did make it. That is why it looks so good. Ladies and gentlemen, porcupine stew. We're gonna try it out. I think it's gonna be good.
Me first. Really good.
Honestly?
It's a little chewy, but it's very tender.
Wow. Yeah, that's very surprising.
Right?
Yeah, honestly, if this were to be made and put in front of me and I didn't know what it was, I had no idea this was a prickly rodent on the side of the road.
I bet one of you out there has had a grandparent that's made you some kind of meal. And if it was like rabbit, maybe porcupine, moose, just a different meat, and they're like, yeah, it's chicken. It's chicken. And then you eat it because you think it's chicken. And then after you eat it, they're like, it was rabbit.
That happened to you, right?
Yeah, I feel like my Nona definitely did that many years ago when we were young. But everything she made was just so good. Oh. All right, well, bon appetit.
Diesel's on high alert this morning. He's such a domesticated Labrador that I think when his natural wild animal instincts come out, he can't really understand what's going on. So he's just hanging out behind camp, lying down, looking out into the woods. And we saw a bunny go by, but on our walk this morning, we saw a whole bunch of moose poop. Because of course, they are out here. But what is also out here, our neighbor this morning, is a good old pile of tires right here beside us. And unfortunately, we don't have the room to haul those out in Walter here. But our thanks for these free campsites all over the country. We'll generally haul out just a couple pieces of trash, do our part, and try not to let the old rusted motor and the big pile of tires piss me off for the rest of the day. Since we're on the subject, I have to bring it up. This is more so for the adults out there. I think the craziest thing I ever found, and I didn't dispose of it because over in Utah, they must be having some crazy parties out there in the desert, because we'll call it a artificial appendage. Sitting out there in the sand, not too far away from where we were camped out that night, and it's probably still out there. But that's probably the craziest thing I've come across doing garbage duty at some of our campsites in the past. There he is. Our breakfast game has been just on another level here lately. Avocado, cottage cheese, tomato, green onion, eggs. Did I miss anything? Sourdough toast. There's smoked salmon on here? And smoked salmon. It should be like $35 in a restaurant.
That's why Diesel.
You'll get somebody, don't worry. Packed up, ready to go. Gonna get back on the road. We're heading towards Gros Morne today. I don't think we're gonna make it all the way. We do have a little cabin booked at Gros Morne, because why not treat yourself? And it is a late birthday gift for Alana. Ever since we started dating, every year we've pretty much gone and rented an Airbnb or a little cabin or somewhere, camped somewhere for a birthday celebration. So we found one in the park and we got to be there in a few days, but we're gonna stop and smell the roses along the way because I'm sure there's tons to see along this drive here. Spotted a big handsome fella in the ditch up here, so we turned around and we're gonna go see if we can get a closer look. They blend in so well. It's got to be up in this area here. Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, wow. Spotting wildlife on the side of the road is always a big operation. The shoulders here are so small, so we don't have that much space. And earlier we stopped to check out a couple caribou, and we pulled to the side of the road, but people saw that we were stopped, and so they stopped in the middle of the road behind us on a blind turn. So they're lucky they didn't get smucked by a trucker coming.
Unsafe.
It was pretty stupid. So we carried on, didn't really get any good shots of it, but
Yeah.
I'd say we had a successful moose shooting operation.
Without the shooting.
Without the
It's not
shooting. Honestly, I think we may have a new favorite place to stop for coffee and treats. Robbins definitely gives Tim Hortons a run for their money. And I have to say, their apple fritters are definitely better than Tim Hortons. You guys probably know if you've been watching for a bit. I enjoy my Tim Hortons every now and again. Coffee maybe not so much, but the food and stuff that they have there, I know it's not good, but I like it. We got you one too. Not an apple fritter, but we got you a donut. That was mine. Too much sugar on that one.
Wow, look at this little habit.
We got the Blue Eddy up front, so it's a perfect spot for him to put his legs up.
Little stepping stool.
Yeah. Well, this spot's pretty awesome, and the sun is out. So Alana's making some moose burgers. We got a fire going. Grabbed a whole bunch of driftwood from down by the beach here, and we've got this spot all to ourselves. So can't really argue with that. And we're just hoping this wind dies down just a little bit for us to cook. And we have so much daylight, it seems, because the sun is still way up in the sky, and it's already like 7:30 p.m. But what started off as a pretty dreary, wet, rainy kind of day turned to this, so can't complain. I just looked up at the roof of the van and thought to myself, this poor canoe, bought it probably 4 weeks ago, and it's been in the water one time. And it tried to escape from us that one time that it was in. But everything through Labrador was frozen, and it's just been super windy the past few weeks. But as they like to call them here, ponds, there's tons of ponds here in this area for us to explore.
I just realized I haven't really changed my clothes today. So that's where we're at.
No need.
No need. Comfort is key.
Well, I ate one already because it was just that appealing. But welcome to another wild game night here at Camp Walter. We have moose burgers with cheese inside, sprinkled with cottage cheese and Parmesan cheese and mustard and tomato. We have one avocado left that we were going to put on, but we're going to save it for breakfast tomorrow. But delicious. We're here for a little redemption this evening. If you guys remember from our time in the Grand Canyon when we camped out at Christmas time, we tried making some cast iron cookies that didn't really work. They kind of just burnt and they were really dry. So we're going to try again. We're going to try just a small one and see how it goes. But I think I can finesse the coals a little bit to make this really work this time. It's just a little charred on the bottom.
Oh, well, that's not cool.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, first one was half a dud. We're going to try it again. We lifted the cast iron just a little bit more off the coals, so I have a good, I have a suspicion the second one's going to be the winner here.
Put some oil in there. I'm gonna cut it, break it in half. Ready?
Yeah.
Or in a quarter.
It
Okay.
worked. It worked.
She's cooked through. Here, you can have the first bite. Campfire cookie. Cheers. Now I'm gonna watch the other 4 babies.
Oh, that's almost perfection right there. We did it.
Really good.
Yes, it is now June, and we are still bundled up every time we go outside. But honestly, I don't think I'd have it any other way. It's either this, where there's a little bit of breeze and it's chilly, or bugs. And in a place like this, bugs can be absolutely horrendous. I've heard stories they can pick a moose up by the ears and carry him off somewhere else. They're that bad. But this place is incredible. I can see why East Coasters hold this place near and dear to their heart, Newfoundland in particular. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Newfoundland. I've always heard good stories growing up about the East Coast and Newfoundland in particular. And I just can't wait to see what else is to come. Lots more adventure, lots more ground to cover, and we're looking forward to bringing you guys along for the adventure as well. But it's time for us to get in the van. The heat is on. We're gonna hunker down and head into Gros Morne tomorrow.
We're waking up and smelling like campfire smoke. And so I woke up this morning and I'm like, I'm gonna go fetch a pail of water and have a bucket shower. So I just got some water in this bucket. I think I'm gonna make some breakfast first, and then I'm gonna boil some water, add that into the cold river water, and then wash my hair. Water's lukewarm. So that's good. Gonna get right to it.
This $10 collapsible bucket has come in pretty clutch on several occasions on those days where it's just been a couple too many days in between showers and you need to get your head wet, get some soap and conditioner going. Oh, it's not warm anymore. Wow.
You done?
Leaving a little firewood behind is essentially another form of Canadian currency, so we left a couple pieces left for the next camper that wants to enjoy the spot and get borderline blown away. But we're getting back on the road and we're heading towards Gros Morne today, which I'm very excited about.
It's just one of those parks we've always heard about and have yet to explore.
Yeah.
So we're heading to our cabin tomorrow in Trout River, but we figure let's just go to the park today, explore the area a little bit, and maybe get a campsite.
Yeah, and hot showers and laundry, all the amenities at
Water.
parks. It's worth the 40, 50 bucks. You have to pay for a campsite or whatever, but you can do all the stuff, which I'm also very much looking forward to.
Did you not like your shower this morning?
It was a little cold. Got cold pretty quick.